Happy Vending. Hi, I'm Bill and welcome to Happy Vending. Today we're going to be talking about the force vend mode in a drink machine, and I'm going to be using a Royal G3 669 machine, but you also have a force vend setting if you have a Dixie Narco machine. What the force vend is if you have a customer that comes over and puts in $1, you might not necessarily want them then to press the coin release and then have the machine give them quarters and change. When force vend is enabled, like it is on this machine, it's basically saying you put money in, it's going to force you to vend the product. The only exception is if you have a sold out selection. Now in this machine I have the Dr. Pepper sold out. You know, it just accepted the dollar into the machine, and it's going to try to vend the Dr. Pepper until it realizes it's sold out. So now the customer has an option. They can either vend a different product, or in this case, since it was sold out, the vendor will allow them to have their money back. Although since the dollar bill acceptor took that dollar bill in, it's going to give me my change back in quarters, or my dollar back in quarters. So I have my 4 quarters at this point. So you might be wondering why you would ever want to disable force vend, and there is an instance that this machine right next to this Coke machine accepts $5 bills. It has a more updated bill acceptor. This Coke machine only accepts $1 bills. This machine, a student could come over, and these machines are in a school. Student can come over and put a 5 in, and what I have it set to do then is they could press the coin return, and it's going to give them $5 coins, and then they can use those dollar coins in this machine to get sodas, because they might not want the drinks that are in this machine. So this is an instance where I leave force vend disabled. But in order for this to work, you also have to do another setting in there. It's called the bill escrow setting, meaning when you put this $5 bill in, if I have bill escrow turned off, it's going to take that 5 and put it right up into the bill hopper, and it won't be able to kick that bill out. If I had bill escrow turned on, you could put the $5 bill in there and it would just hold it there until they select the product, and once they select the product, then it puts it up in the bill hopper and gives change. If they decide they don't want a product, they'd press the coin return and it would give them the $5 bill back. But if you want the machine to be used as a change machine, you have to turn off bill escrow. Bill escrow has to be disabled so that the $5 bill goes up, and I'll demonstrate here. It's going to take that up. That sound is the sound of it going up into the bill hopper. I can't press the coin return now and get my $5 bill back. I'm going to press the coin return, and I'm going to get my $5 back in dollar coins. And now the student can take these dollar coins and use them in this machine to buy these products. And that's how I have it set up, and that's actually what the students do. I find a lot of dollar coins in this machine because for whatever reason the students have $5 bills and they don't have dollar bills. And I do plan in the future to update this bill acceptor, put a recycling bill acceptor in here that would take not only 1s and 5s but also 10s, and it will give dollar bills change. But right now I just have this dollar bill acceptor, so that's how I have it configured. But let me show you how to set the force vend and bill escrow on these Royal G3 machines, and then you'll know what those settings are on your machine and be able to set your machine up the way you want it to. I mean, if I had one of these machines and I had it outside or an amusement park or something like that, I would probably definitely have force vend enabled, because I wouldn't want people coming up to get coins for parking meters and this type of stuff. They would constantly be using your machine to get change. To set force vend and bill escrow, you have to get inside the machine. If your machine has the menu programming instructions on it, great, because then you'll be able to figure out where it is. If your machine doesn't, then you're going to have to get your owner's manual or look online to find the owner's manual to your machine so that you know where to get the settings. Now on these Royal machines, the force vend and the bill escrow setting is in the configuration mode, and I'm going to show you how to get into that. The first thing you have to do is press the programming button on the control board. This is an older control board in this G3. It has the big red button on it. My Coke machine over there has a newer board that I put in and has a small blue button all the way at the top. But you just press that once, and then we're going to go to the front display, and then you're going to see error on the front display. That's the first menu that comes up. If I went into that, it would show me any errors that have been saved by this machine. Now I'm just going to now press the second button to go up through the menus, and I have to actually get to pass, because in order to get to the configuration menu you have to type in the password, and then it's going to take you into other menus. Now the password on these G3 machines is a default password. Most vendors do not change it. It's 4231. So you press the fourth button, the second button, the third button, and then the first button. And then you press enter by pressing that fourth button again. And then it should show cache, which is the first menu once you put in the password. And then I'm going to press my second button to navigate up through until I get to CON for config. There it is. If I go too far, I can then press the third button to go back, and it takes me back to configuration. Now to get into the configuration menu, press my fourth button, and then I'm into configure 1. And these all do different things, but the force vend is actually configure 8. So I press up to get to configure 8. There it is. It has a 0, meaning it is disabled. Force vend on this machine is disabled. Now to turn that into enabled, I have to make that 0 1. So first I have to enter this setting by pressing the fourth. Then my 0 will start flashing, and then press the second button to go up, and it's a flashing 1. Press the fourth button to save that, and then I can press the first button to get out of the configuration. And I'm pretty good there. It's saved that setting now. So okay, let's test it now. This machine is now set that it will force you to vend. Force vend is enabled. The student will no longer be able to come over and put, let's say, $1 in here, and then press the coin return and get coins. You see that? No longer working. Now it's forcing me to vend. The only thing in here that's $1 is this Deer Park.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Now, let's take a look at the escrow setting. Same thing as before. We go in, we activate programming mode by pressing the red button. We come to the front. We go up until we see password. Pressing our password, 4231, fourth to enter. Then we're going to go up to config, 4 to enter, and then we are going to go to 10, C10, which is bill escrow. Now it's a little confusing, but 1 actually on the bill escrow means it's disabled. It's disabled meaning it won't hold the dollar bill in a standby mode to be able to kick it back out. In order for me to enable it, I have to put that as 0. So once again, I'll press 4 to enter that menu. It starts blinking. Press my up button, which is the second button. It changes that to a 0, which now means bill escrow is enabled. Press my 4 to lock it in. In order to demonstrate this bill escrow, now that I have it enabled to hold my dollar, I also have to turn off force vend. I'm gonna go back up into C8, and as you can see, it's the number 1. That means force vend is enabled. And I'm going to press my 4th button to enter, and then go to 0 and say force vend is now disabled again on this machine. Lock it in, 1st button, go out. Let me close it up. Now if I put $1 in here, since I have products that are over $1, it would put that first $1 up into the bill hopper and then wait for me to put the second $1 in, and the second $1 would be held in escrow. But for just a better demonstration, I'm gonna put a $5 bill in here again. And if you remember the last time I put the $5 bill in there, it put it right away into the bill hopper, and when I pressed the coin return, it gave me $5 coins that the student then could use as change. This time, if you were listening, it didn't put it up into the bill hopper. It's holding that $5 bill in escrow, and now if the student wants their money back, they press this, and it gives them the $5 bill back instead of the change, because now I have bill escrow enabled. It holds that bill and then gives it back. But if I want the students to be able to use this as a bill changer for $5 bills, I have to disable bill escrow so that when they put that 5 in, it goes up into the bill hopper, and they go to get change, it's going to give them $5 coins. If you didn't have a coin acceptor that had a dollar coin column in it, it would give them all the change in quarters. And you would go through a lot of quarters quick if students were putting in $5 bills and getting quarters. But since I have the dollar bills, the dollar coin slot, it's not as big of a deal in this machine. Well, I hope you understand force vend mode and bill escrow mode a little better now. And as always, happy vending.